Coil wrap, a maintenance-free alternative to paint. Let me tell you all about it.
Desert King Windows, we knock out the weather.
All right, so if you're gonna have your windows and doors replaced, especially if it's a patio enclosure or you have some sort of build, it's gonna have wood, right? You might run into a potential issue. So I wanna teach you a little bit about it. So wood, if it's exposed wood, and let's say it's wood trim around a window, or maybe it's wood framing for a custom bay or a custom bow, or a patio enclosure where it's framed up in wood. Things like that can leave exposed wood. So how do we finish it off? Well, you have to finish it off first off. If you don't, we all know what happens to wood out in the desert. UV rays, that's gonna cause it to crack, dry out, split, peel, rot. It's gonna do all kinds of things. Exposed to termites, anything like that can happen. So we have to protect it or not use it at all. So we need it as structure, so we need to use it. A few different ways that we combat that. One is that you can use a proper exterior product, which would be something like this. Now this is a composite trim. This is used around most of our patio door installations. So we use it as an exterior trim. It does have to be painted. The other alternative to this would be to wrap it in a coil wrap or an aluminum coil wrap or cap it. Those are all the exact same things. And that's what this is. This comes in probably hundreds of different colors. So we can match our windows or our doors, whichever manufacturer you choose. And this can actually wrap or cap any wood trim or any wood framing or anything like that. And it is purely for aesthetics. So it comes in a large roll and basically it is gonna be bent around there. How we cut this, it actually cuts a lot easier than it looks. Simple pin snips. This actually cuts very, very easily with the proper tool. What we're gonna do is we use a brake, a large metal brake. And that is a very, very wonderful tool because this is gonna bend this absolutely perfectly. And this is then used to cover any exposed wood. How does it stay in place? Well, the best method of doing it is to be able to bend it in a way where it's grabbing the wood itself, because you don't want to pierce it more times than you have to. Not only can it be unsightly, but you're also piercing something that's supposed to be covering wood. Therefore, you have a hole in it. So we really don't want to pierce it unless we absolutely have to. And if we do, it needs to be covered up and it needs to be sealed up against the elements properly, okay? Some methods of doing it. Yes, you can use a finish nailer technically with galvanized nails. However, you have to be very, very careful with that because now it's a pierced hole and there needs to be sealant around there and covered up with another piece. That is a method of doing it. We prefer to use maybe a pan head screw that has a water barrier around it. So that way it goes in nice and clean, and we can actually even get the screw heads to match your color. So that's one way of doing it. The other thing, this is how you know it's done by a professional, is that you don't see them all over the place. You don't want to see random screws or nail heads and all of that stuff. You want a clean finish, okay? Because this doesn't need to be painted. So it's gonna be like that forever. So you wanna make sure it looks good. Now I know what you're gonna say, but Jason, I've watched several videos of yours that says aluminum is not energy efficient. Why would I go ahead and start adding aluminum around my windows? Well, okay, you're right. I'm glad you've been paying attention. But let me explain why this is acceptable. Because this is covering up the wood. It's not something that you're having aluminum going all the way through. So yes, if it gets hot on one side, it gets hot on the other side, but there's still wood, there's still window, there's still wall, there's still siding, there's still all that stuff that's breaking up, or being a thermal barrier, I guess you could say, against all the heat, okay? Or cold. So this is acceptable because it's not exposed to the inside of the house as well. And the reason why we go with this is because it's gonna last forever. You know, we're installing windows and doors that we give a lifetime warranty for. This right here, we can lifetime warranty this because it falls under our lifetime craftsmanship warranty. And well, I think that's just a wonderful peace of mind. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't even have to paint this thing. You can paint this, but you don't have to. This thing is gonna last forever. You're never gonna have any issues with it. That's just the best way to do it. If you decide to do some of this stuff on your own, not around Desert King windows and doors, you wanna use it on maybe some fascia of your house or something like that, you definitely can, but you have to make sure that wood is good, clean, not rotting, and most certainly not termite damage. Because remember, this is gonna last forever. It's gonna look great forever, but if it's rotting underneath or being eaten by termites underneath or carpenter ants or something like that, you're gonna have problems. and you won't even know it until it's too late. So make sure that that wood is nice and clean before you apply this. Where are the common areas that you'd find coil wrap, or where are the common areas that you should use coil wrap? It's gonna be mostly on wood homes or wood-sided homes. Not so much, you don't see it so much in stucco homes, which is the majority of what we do in Las Vegas or Southern Nevada, as well as Phoenix. So you don't see this quite as often with those. In fact, usually you see this around the trim, if anything, on those types of houses, or if we're doing any custom bays, bows, or patio enclosures. Where you're gonna see the majority of this, and used on almost every single job, is in our Texas markets, our San Antonio market. This would be on almost around every single window that we install. So this is a lot more common in Texas because you have a lot of sided houses that are either aluminum sided or wood sided or vinyl or anything like that. Much more common there. So that's where you'll generally see this. But you still will see it in Phoenix and the Vegas markets too. We do it, and not a whole lot of companies out there still do this coil wrap because it's a little old school and takes a little bit of extra time, takes a little extra patience and a little extra craftsmanship, but that's what you can expect from Desert King Windows. That's all we know. So why does bending aluminum take an extra craftsman? Why does it take so much more craftsmanship to it? Well, it's really the precision of the measurements themselves. And as you can see from here, what we're doing is that there is an extreme amount of detail. Measure twice, cut once, right? And this is measure twice, cut once, bend once, do all of these different things. So it takes a certain precise measurement. And top tier craftsmanship is exactly what we look for in our installers. It is a non-negotiable, all right? So you have to have it. That's why we can offer it with all of our products. As I mentioned before, this comes in hundreds of colors. Hundreds of colors. So you can match your current trim color, or you can match your stucco, you can match your wood siding, you can match the window color, you can match anything. You can match your car if you want. It doesn't matter. It's yours. It's whatever you want. So this right here is a wonderful product. Be sure to inquire about it. So how much does this cost? This miracle lifetime warranted wrap, how much does this cost? Well, it's really hard to say because it varies so much based on the application. How complex is the application? How many bends are there needed? How big is the unit itself? So there are quite a bit of factors to it. But luckily, with Desert King Windows, you get a free, no pressure in-home estimate, and we are happy to come tell you how much it costs. Free of charge, and no pressure to buy it. We'll just let you know how much it costs along with the rest of your windows. Give us a call, we're happy to do so.
We use the best windows, cause nothing works better. Desert King Windows, we knock out the weather.